What's up, everybody? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin John.
And we have yet another album review for you, and yet another comeback album from a band that, well, I mean, both of us actually kind of cut our teeth on in terms of hardcore, metal, whatever. They were heavy, they were fucking fun, and they are back, and we're talking about Biohazard with their new album, Divided We Fall. This also comes out on the 17th of October on Black to Black Records, BLK to BLK Records.
Don't
know. This band formed in New York City in 1987. This is their 10th album overall. First in over a decade. And first one with their OG lineup, I believe, since State of the World Address.
Jesus.
Yeah, no. Evan Seinfeld, Billy Graziati, Bobby Hamble, and Danny Schuler all back together. I've been a fan of this band since I came across the album Urban Discipline, oh so many years ago. I think the first time I ever saw them, though, was probably in that Onyx Slam video, which they are currently touring with right now, which is, that's almost like too much early 90s for me to handle right there. Now, for me, this was like a big intro band for me in terms of like hardcore, like them, Sick of All, and all the Victory Records stuff. And interestingly enough, last year I went to the Metal and Beer Fest in Philadelphia, and Biohazard was one of the headliners on one of the nights. And initially, it was billed as they were doing all of Urban Discipline, which I was like, fuck yeah. And when they started doing it, they started working in songs from State of the World Address. I was like, oh shit, are we getting both of their fucking like top tier releases? And yeah, they worked in a whole bunch of killer tracks and spent some time talking to the crowd and brought up the fact like, hey, you know, we've been toying with this idea about making a new album. You guys cool with that? And everyone was like, fuck yeah, let's go. I was one of the people screaming that for damn sure. And yeah, it's nice hearing that teased and actually come to fruition, because I wasn't sure I'd ever hear another Biohazard album, let alone one with the fucking original lineup.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, my story is pretty similar. Rin, you guys remember Rin? I'm sure you do. Rin got me into Biohazard with State of the World Address and Urban Discipline, and I've just been a Biohazard fan for literally forever, since I was a teenager, probably, I don't know, 14, 15 years old, and I mean, what more can I say?
Now, the band uploaded like a whole bunch of singles. In fact, they were putting up like music videos for like a lot of these tracks in here. And honestly, all of them were absolute rippers. I was like, dude, this sounds like legit. And going through this album, like, don't go into this thinking that age has dulled them one bit. In fact, I'll even say that Billy and Evan sound tougher, meaner, more vicious than possibly they've ever sounded on here. This has tight, crunchy production. The guitars are chunky. The drums are fat. Dude, this is just flat out Biohazard. Like, every time we heard a track, it was like, dude, was that a Biohazard track or fucking what?
Yeah, it was a Biohazard track. I mean, all of them. Like, the whole record just harkens back to the early days of Biohazard. Like, you get a lot of vibes from Urban Discipline and State of the World Address, to be honest with you. In fact, I don't think there's much, like, of a newer sound at all.
Yeah. I mean, I would even say, like, there's elements of, like, Mata Leo in here, just because, like, this is honestly, like, a pretty fast to, like, mid-tempo album. A lot of D-beats, a lot of crushing grooves on here, big hardcore breakdowns. But overall, like, this is a very stripped-down album. Like, this kind of just goes to the throat and nothing else. Like, this album's not trying to, like, soften you up with body shots or anything like that. This thing is going for a knockout punch with, like, every single song. The first three tracks, which I believe were all singles, Fuck the System, Forsaken, and Eyes on Six, all these songs kind of, like, hang on to this tried and true formula. Come in, introduce a gnarly riff, maybe tinge a little bit of, like, Slayer evilness to it, and then get into that D-beat, get down to those, like, punky, down-picked fucking riffs, and give them a groovy, chuggy, fun chorus with gang vocals that fucking threaten the shit out of you.
Yeah, man, the song Word to the Wise, like, that song wants to start a bar fight. Wants to start a bar fight, or a fight in the parking lot, or a fight in Target, or a fight wherever the tour bus is. Like, they're ready to kick your ass pretty much at any given time in Word to the Wise, and a majority of this record. I would love to say otherwise, but man, Fight to Be Free is particularly mean. got some syncopated hardcore stomps. I mean, it's a Biohazard record.
I actually had like a Biohazard like checkoff thing on here in terms of what I wanted and what I expected from this album, and I got them all. Let's see, vocal switches, of course.
Yep.
That's like one of the staples of their sound, and both of them sound great. Like, I think both Evan and Billy sound particularly snarly, more aggressive. Billy, I think that dude's always had like one of the best hardcore voices out
for
there.
Sure.
And Evan just, he kind of dropped down a little bit lower. There's more
a little bit. There's
gravitas.
Yeah.
And the occasional moment where he is rapping like SITFOA, which stands for strength in the face of adversity, because I was like dead nuts sure the F meant fuck.
Yeah.
But I was off.
Shitting in the fucking open air. That's what I thought it might have been, but it wasn't. But yeah, he's rapping, for sure.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's got, like, an awesome 90s, like, hardcore groove to it. He has a good trade-off with Billy, who comes in and just threatens the shit at you. And, yeah, like, hits you over the head with, like, beefy fucking riffs. And, yeah, this whole thing is kind of just like that. Like, every song is, you know, kind of like straightforward, just attack. You do get moments where they're, like, a little bit more reflective or, like, a little bit more melodic. But for the most part, it's just a straightforward fucking beat down. Like, every track has energy. There's nothing on here that feels like they kind of held back anything. And the thing that I really like about this is, like, there's no fat to trim on here. Like, this has a pretty tight runtime. It's as lean and as cut as fucking Evan is right now. Like, for real, though. Like, every song in here, they get to the point. They get to the, like, the main big chuggy moment. You know, the big gang vocal sing-along. And all of it hits. Like, there isn't anything on here where I feel like was, again, like, a little lax or anything. Because that was, you know, kind of what I was dreading. Like, all right, these guys haven't been together for a while. They're older now. You know, maybe they softened with age.
Maybe. They did not.
They did not.
This whole record just kind of embodies their whole, you know, fuck you, we can kick your ass attitude. Like, it's in the music. It's all right there, and it's never been anything but that.
There's enough, like, subtle nuance to kind of mix things up on here, too. Fight to Be Free has, like, a more syncopated, like, kind of, you know, more like straight up metallic hardcore breakdown to it. That opening breakdown hits hard. It's introduced with, you know, fucking Evans' just absolutely solid bass tone. The production here is fucking awesome. I don't know who did it because I couldn't find it out, but everything sounds clear, sounds crisp, and it has a good fucking weight to it. But I like how that song switches from that, like, more metallic hardcore groove, like the stuff that you'd associate with, like, Earth Crisis and Hatebreed, to, like, flat out kind of oi punk, like, or those oi punk moments you get in, like, Sick of It All albums, which, Lou, hope you're doing better. We're fucking rooting for you. War Inside Me, I think that one's, like, a little bit more on the punky side. In fact, there's, like, some flat out, like, kind of, like, crust punk grittiness that comes out on the bridge that I fucking dug the hell out of.
The melody in it is catchy, too. That song and the last track, Warriors, are particularly catchy.
Yeah, Warriors and Tear Down the Walls, those also have, like, some crossover thrash moments. Like, you get some, you know, chuggier, thrashier, you know, just vicious riffs. Stuff that sounds, you know, a little bit more akin to, like, Iron Reagan or fucking Enforced. Words is kind of interesting, too, because they work in some really interesting harmonies. And, again, like, one of the big things that I think was missing over the years was Bobby Hamble. Bobby Hamble brings in a very distinct guitar sound. Like, his wah-drenched, squawky leads and, like, just ripping dirty bluesy scales. That's, like, as big of a factor in terms of, like, Biohazard sound overall for me as, like, you know, Evan and fucking, you know, Billy fucking shouting at me.
And Danny Schuler is still solid as all get out. Not as, I think, flashy as he used to be back in the day, but he's still such a solid drummer. Fight to Be Free, actually, he's got a pretty massive section where it's just a bunch of turnovers, which is pretty cool. But, I mean, he is what he's always been, solid and in the pocket, and just sounds like he's beating the snot out of the drums and going from D beats to gallops. Like, it's just all... I don't know, man. It's a Biohazard record. I know I keep saying that, but, I mean, it sounds like it's always sounded. It's just 30 years later.
Honestly, that's still kind of like an accurate way to put that. That'd be like the shorthand review here. It's like, dude, it sounds like Biohazard.
It does.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, when it comes down to, like, nuance in terms of, like, comparing this to other Biohazard albums, I mean, there are elements in here that I think stand on its own, and there are elements that are just like 100% like, yeah, this is the classic sound that you were looking for. What stands on its own is I feel like this might be the most straightforward, just hardcore album these guys have put out. Like, this doesn't have like the early label pressure, you know, where like, hey, you gotta squeeze in like more rap stuff for like the rap crowd, and let's get a little bit of that groove in here. Maybe we can get a DJ and more samples and more ambience. This is stripped back of almost all of that. That's why I compared this initially to Monteleo, because that one was like the pressure cooker album, because it came after State of the World Dress, which was a big success for them. And they just decided, fuck it, we want to go back and like do some straight up hardcore shit again. And well, the label really wasn't thrilled with that, so much so they kind of got booted from Warner Brothers. This feels like a more focused version of that, because there's not a lot of distractions around. This is just them getting back together, reestablishing their sound, and playing what made them happy without a label breathing down their neck, telling them like, well, you got to get in with this crowd and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, this is honestly probably one of the most pure fucking Biohazard albums I think I've heard from this band. And I dig it. As far as any weaknesses, I mean, yeah, it might be a little stripped down in spots where this definitely has a formula, but it's a tried and true formula, and it kind of depends on what you were expecting from this band. Like, yeah, I would say that this might be like one of the safer comeback albums, but it's what I wanted.
Right.
I wanted a Biohazard album. They gave me a Biohazard album, and I'm fucking happier than shit with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in that boat. Like, I wasn't expecting anything other than what I got. I got exactly what I thought I would get. I got a Biohazard record, and a solid Biohazard record at that. So, I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah, so if you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah, boy!
So overall, I'm going to give this 4 stars. Like, this was just a pure, fun throwback to listen to. It does exactly what I want a Biohazard album to do. Lots of grooves, lots of D beats. It's fucking full of piss and vinegar. The edge on this fucking blade of a band has not dulled one bit. It will still stick you right in your fucking guts and bleed you like a pig in the street. Pretty sure that was like the lyric in one of these songs. I don't know. I was threatened so many times in this album that, you know, it's just, they can all blur together. Either way, killer riffs. Love the production here. Yeah, if you're a longtime Biohazard fan and you also love fucking Hatebreed, Sick of It All,
Body Count.
Yeah, Body Count, Earth Crisis, you
Anthrax.
know. There you go.
Yeah.
All that shit. Check this out.
I totally agree. It's a solid 4. It's a good record, man. Like I said 100 times during this review, I know what I wanted, and I got exactly what I wanted. I got a killer Biohazard record that was pretty, like, straightforward. You know, they didn't add a bunch of new bullshit in here. It's not overladen with atmosphere. It doesn't have anything in there that you don't want to be in there. If you've been a fan of this band like we have since the 90s, and you're looking for a sound that sounds like that, it's this. It's like they took this record out of a time capsule 30 years ago, and they were like, oh yeah, by the way, we had this too. And they put it out. That's what this is, man. Great grooves, great beats, great fucking vocals. We rapped some, we screamed some, we yelled some. It was a good time. I got threatened. I might get knifed later. I'm not 100%. That's Biohazard. That's what this record is. And it's killer. And like we said, if you're a fan of any of the bands that we've mentioned, or you've just been a longtime fan of this band and you want to know what they're up to, they sound like they did 30 years ago, and it's fucking sweet. So, yeah, check this out for yourself.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We also have memberships. They're only 99 cents, and our lone perk is doing a members-only live stream, which we will eventually schedule at some point, maybe around Halloween.
Maybe.
Who knows? We definitely owe you one for the month of October.
We do.
Probably owe you 2, considering the long break we had.
Probably owe you like fucking 15 of them, guys. We're fucking sorry.
Either way, membership's the main way to support the channel, and if you would like to join up, there is a join button down below, and you should definitely do it, because this album will fucking come to your house and fucking beat the shit out of you if you don't.
Evan Seinfeld will show up to your house with a bat and be like, push that fucking button. And you'd be like, all right, cool.
Now, we don't condone that behavior.
We do not at all. We're non-violent people.
But we're also big enough pussies not to tell them not to do that.
That's also true.
Yeah.
But even if you don't push that button, it's cool. We're not going to tell anybody in Biohazard where you live. I don't think anybody in Biohazard knows where we live, so that's cool too. We have non-members only live streams, Discovery rankings, tons of album reviews, discussion forums, Nick's never-ending collection updates, blah, 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 blah. All metal all the time. We do it for you guys because we appreciate you being here. Once again, thank you for being a part of this channel. Thank you for continuing to join us as we talk about all sorts of metal bullshit. We couldn't do this without you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys absolutely rule. Tons of content coming away. So one more big thank you because of all your awesomeness, and we will catch you later.